gracious in that he just helped me get through this. Not helped me get through this as far as reading, and I want to make that real clear, but it gave me a real, almost a visual of what my mom went through, and it was my mom's life story. My mom was molested by her father, she thinks, since birth, was given up for adoption from her mom to an aunt when she was 5 years old. The aunt's husband was a molester and molested her from 5 to 12. My grandmother then married another alcoholic that wanted to be a family, decided to take my mom back, moved her from Canada to California, and she ended up getting pregnant when she started high school in California. And it talked about all that kind of stuff. It talked about losing her home when she was 5 to 12, and nobody even asked her about moving. They just came and picked her up one day, and the fact of then getting pregnant. And then it went into the whole thing with my dad beating her and having all the kids, and then marrying or moving Mac in, which was a bartender. It just went through that whole thing. And then all of a sudden I turned the second page, and on the top of the third page it said the only reason I survived all this is I took all my anger and hatred out on my second child. And I was froze. And I don't even know how to explain what happened, but it's like I kept reading that over and over again, and it was like for the first time in my life somebody said, this is not your fault. This was not about you. This was generations before you. This stuff came down, and you just got born into it. And I heard God say through the Holy Spirit, not audible voices, I love you. And this was never about you. And if you want, I will help you change your life. And I just started crying. And I remember crying because I thought, look at me. I am 100 pounds, strung out, teeth missing. Nobody wants me. Nobody cares about me. And God said, I promise you, that is not true. I love you. And I just cried, look at me. And I just remember just feeling that so strong. You need to just look at me. And I've been a stripper my whole life. I've been just out to lunch my whole life. I've been used and have used people my whole life. I lie and manipulate and steal. I mean, I have no qualities that anybody would say, you know what, you are worth something to me. And yet I knew that this was God, and I knew what he was saying, that is, you are worth everything to me. And so he gives me a visual of who I am when he looks at me. And that changed my life. He gave me a visual of a beautiful child that was innocent. And I started to cry because I thought, you know what, I've never been innocent, ever. And he said, you have never not done that to me. And I promise you, you need to step out of all this junk that people have put on you, because it is not who I created you to be. It's not who you are. And in me, I promise you, I will restore everything that was done to you. There's going to be a time in your life that you're going to be so far removed from that you won't even hardly remember what it feels like to be sitting on this bed this day. And I remember just thinking, man, okay. I sat there for about 2 or 3 hours and just listening to God. And I don't know if anybody's ever done that in your studies, but it's the coolest thing. Just listen to God. Just what do you need me to know about who I am and who you are? And I just feeling loved, just feeling safe. And then I thought, wait a minute. There's a naked guy in the living room. God should not be here. And I just felt like, it just hit me so much that God shouldn't be here. What if God went out in the living room? What would he even think, And so I remember thinking, okay, God, we're going to have to get out of here. We just better go through the bedroom window. You know what I mean? And to this day, I laugh about that, because if you have never seen God work in a drug house with a naked guy, you have never seen God truly work, because he does amazing work in those situations. But I ended up, and I'm going to, because it's 8:30, can I have 15 more minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you that what's really interesting to me is God told me that he loved me. And I want to just ask you, and I want you to answer me loud, okay? Do you think he told me, Cheri, I love you and you need to quit doing heroin?
No.
No. I love you, but you need to quit sleeping with everybody.
No.
I love you, you need to quit lying.
No.
I love you, but you need to quit stealing. You need to quit thinking like this. You need to quit just doing all that stuff. Do you think he told me that? No. He just said, I love you. And I'm serious, that was enough to stand me up. Just getting that sense of the God that created everything said, I delight in your recovery. I delight in standing you up. And you need to call someone for help. And the only person I knew that was normal was a guy strung out sexually. He didn't do drugs, didn't drink. And so I thought, you know what, I'll call him. So I called him and I said, I need some help. he said, you know, what do you want? And I said, I'm going to try to clean up. I need a place to go. So he says, I'll send you over to my sister's house. Let me call her. And he calls her sister. I was in Los Angeles. She lives in Placerville, California. So does anybody know the distance? It's like 8 hours, 7.5 hours. So he calls her. I don't know what he said. There's a stripper strung out on heroin, wants to clean up. Can she come to your house? But she said yes. I drove that whole time. Didn't take one drug with me. Somebody please say ah. Oh man, not one. I didn't take any weed. I didn't even take barbiturates. I didn't take just a little bit of heroin. I didn't take a line of something. I didn't take any alcohol. So by the time I got to her house, I am not in a friendly mood. I knock on the door and I'm thinking, man, I don't know if this was a good idea because I am not. I need a place to stay. And I'm trying to be nice, but I'm withdrawing. This is not okay with me. And she answers the door and does this cheesy Christian thing. I'm so glad you came. I just want you to know I really love you. And are you going to hand me a tract because I'm in no mood right now? You know what I mean? And I say cheesy, but it really is who she is, and she changed my life. So just stay with me on that. So then she says, come in.